Hello everyone, welcome to Susan Hiles Art, and today we are going to work on the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and I'm working on the envelope, which is one of the prompts for October, as well as the gingerbread house. So I've done a lot of work on this. I have to say now, if you don't know, I started with a real envelope, a paper envelope, and I sewed onto it. And I can really say that I am not super fond of sewing fabric onto paper. I'm just not. I did it. I don't know that I would do it again. But yeah, so what I did was I took the envelope, which was a little bit bigger. It was probably about a 1/2 inch wider. And this itself was really like this, but I made it bigger because I want to put the house on here. So yeah, so it all comes apart, and I sewed all these pieces on. And this is going to end up being up like this with the gingerbread house, with these little measuring spoons and these little candy canes. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and work on this. And I had originally thought that I was going to put fabric back here, because once it's on my page, so this is the background of my page. This is the size. This is actually what I'm going to be using. So basically it's the base, the block that I'm going to be using. And I thought, well, I wouldn't really want to have this closed because then I'm covering up the gingerbread house. So I'm going to not put fabric here. And then when I sew the envelope onto this block, I'm just going to sew this open. So yes, it will stick out of my journal, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with it. That doesn't bother me. So the page ultimately is going to look just like this once it's sewn into my journal. So yeah, so that's what we're going to work on today, is to sew the gingerbread house on here. I made this taller instead of being like this, right? If I had left it like that, this gingerbread house was just not going to fit. So I folded it up higher, so now I can put this basically right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pin that on, and then I have to decide, well, I know I want this here. I definitely want to have that there. And I think I'm going to pin this as well. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do it just like that. So because this fabric is cut right here at the top of the candy cane, I just put the fabric on the edge of this piece. So it's going to end up looking like this. So let me just repin this. Whoops, come on. Okay, so that's gonna look like that. And I'm not like super concerned with the way that, I don't know, maybe I'll put, let's see, would it look better if I did that? Maybe. Or should I have the candy canes overlapping the fabric of the gingerbread house, or should I have the gingerbread house overlapping the candy canes? I don't know. I like it both ways. We'll see. And then I have this. So this is, like I said, they are measuring spoons, you know, like tablespoon, teaspoon, right? So I have to figure out where I want these. And, you know, maybe just something like that is good. So all I did was fold over the fabric at the top. I'm not cutting it. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. And then at the bottom, I will go ahead and, well, I'm going to need to do some trimming here. So let's see. Let's see. One moment, please. I think what I'll do is let me just give this a little bit of a trim like that. Let me get rid of this before I mess that up. So that looks good. And then the bottom down here, I can just trim this whole thing. Okay. All right. So that I think I like. Well, I guess it looks good with the gingerbread house over the spoons and the candy canes, I guess. I'm good with that. It was hard to decide what fabric to put on the background, and I ended up using this red, I guess it's a gingham type fabric, and I ended up using, oopsie daisy, I had the wrong needle there. Let me grab my black thread. And the reason I think I used that fabric, not I think, I know, is because I have a lot of it, and it's not my favorite. So, you know, it didn't bother me that I was going to be covering a lot of it up. So that's why I have that red back there. And I do think that the black pops off of that really nicely. And I think that it helps to differentiate or separate. It makes it look more like an envelope, right? Because this is a very pronounced shape. Like, as opposed to having a black background, if this red and white was black or something dark, the gingerbread house wouldn't pop as much, and the shape of the envelope wouldn't be as easy to see. So maybe saying it that way makes sense, I hope. Yeah, so once I get this all sewn down, now I have to think what to do right here. I think what I'll do is let me go ahead and get this whole gingerbread house down, and then I will go ahead and get those smaller side pieces down. So even doing this, getting the gingerbread house down, I am sewing some of those side pieces down at the same time because it's underneath the gingerbread house. So, I mean, it's easy to sew on paper. It's not hard. It's just, I guess I'm not used to the crinkly sound. Right? I'm more used to, well, not hearing anything when I sew. And the other thing is when you're really working with paper, it tears easily. So, you know, like I have to be careful, like some of the, some areas, like especially when I go to knot, you know, like when I'm done with stitching, it just, yeah, it definitely is a challenge for sure to try not to put a hole in the paper. But I think once I have this all sewn down into my page on my block, I think it's going to be fine. I think it will be absolutely fine. It'll be nice and sturdy. One thing that my fingers just stopped working. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. All right, let me get this. All right. So one thing I wanted to mention was my video that I'm going to make for Friday of this week. So 2 days from today. I will be making a journal card to put in this envelope. So if you want to check that out, you know, come back on Friday and you can see how I make a journal card for this envelope. I mean, this envelope I feel like is like so destroyed at this point, which isn't terrible because you're not going to see it. But I guess it was a good template to use, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, not my favorite. Not awful by any means. But I don't know. I don't know. So now let's get these side pieces down. So now that the gingerbread house is down, all I have to do is do some quick stitching around these littler pieces. And then, oh my gosh, then I think I am done with the gingerbread house prompt and the envelope prompt. Now, oopsie daisy, do I have a knot? Definitely head on over to Rachel and Sarah's YouTube channels. Their links are below. And I mean, anybody can join in at any time, you know, if you wanted to. And for the last half of this year, they have 2 different, what do I call it? 2 different, it's almost, well, 2 different choices to select from. Or you could do both of them, but one was Christmas, a Christmas journal, and the other was a winter journal. And some people are even combining the 2. Definitely, there's something for everybody. So if you're not into Christmas, or it's too soon, you don't want to think about Christmas yet, you don't have to. You can always do more winter themed than Christmas themed. And they give the prompts every month. All right, so the candy canes are sewn. That's good. So we're going to go ahead and get down the measuring spoons. And yeah, gosh, it worked out pretty well. I wasn't sure, you know, piecing this all together exactly how it would look, but I am happy with it. I think it's super cute. Like look at this. Like, isn't that cute? I think it is. I like it. It's a little wild. I know, but you guys know me. If you want, if you watched this channel, you know, the wilder, the crazier, the better. I mean, I can do like monochromatic, that type of thing, or black and white. I definitely can, but for the most part, my aesthetic is the crazier the better. So, all right, so we're getting there. We are almost done. And then, so what will happen is, you know, during the week, I will go ahead and sew this envelope down. And like I mentioned, I will be making the journal card on Friday on a video. So definitely stop back to check that out. I'll show you, let me show you real quick my thought process for the journal card. Let me go ahead and knot this. Yeah, it's a definite challenge to knot for sure, but that's okay. It all works. It all works. I mean, look at the back of this. It's a mess. It's all torn paper and everything. But all I have to do is fold that up and all that craziness goes away. And like I said, this is going to be sewn on here. Then this block will get sewn onto the page. So this is my next page for my journal. So this will get sewn onto here. And then this page, once it's done, all four sides, I'll sew into here. So this is my journal. And yeah, so what's going to happen on Friday is, well, I'm going to have to, well, first of all, I have to sew this down. So this I'll tack onto these little sides right here so that that stays up like that. And then I'll make sure I, make a journal that will actually fit into this. And I think I'm going to do all fabric. So what I need to make what I want to make the journal card with, well, I'm actually doing, it's part of a collaboration, and the prompts for Friday are to use books and to make a journal card is one of them. So I have this Kathy, what is her name? Isn't that terrible? Are these hers? What is her name? I know all of you know. Yep, Kathy Holden. So I have these Kathy Holden fabrics, and well, they could be book pages, right? I mean, this is too big, but as an example, this is a page of a recipe book, right? I mean, and there's all sizes. Like I could even take, like this right here would make a really nice journal card that would fit in there. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to use this or if I'll use a piece of this fabric or even a piece of this fabric. I mean, look at, there's dictionary paper, there's regular text in here. So I can use a piece of this or even a piece of this, which is also recipes. And these are a really nice size to make a journal card as well. The text would be sideways because the card would go in here long ways, and that's fine. And then the back of it, what I'll do is probably pretty much like I did for the tag. So it's really basically the same thing. This was from July. And on the back, I used fabric that I could stencil. So I have a stencil with these lines, and I took ink and I stenciled the lines. So I will probably do the same thing, and I just have to pick out which fabric. I'm kind of leaning towards this fabric right here, actually, because look at the colors of this along with that gingerbread house. That would look super pretty coming out of here. And yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe one of these two right here. That's what I'm thinking. But that's for Friday. And again, it will be a journal card for this little envelope. So that is it for today. I don't know that I want to add any lace to this. I could add some lace. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll put lace up on top here so that as this is sticking out of my journal, it'll look pretty. And that green lace, I have a bunch of it I could use. So that's a thought as well. So we'll see. I don't know. But that is it for today. And this is my little gingerbread house. And this is my envelope. And yep. So next week, I'll be doing the second prompt for October. So I'll see you next Wednesday for my next Roxy's Journal of Stitchery video. And of course Friday if you want to stop by to see how I make the journal card. Okay, God bless everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.